This is Hoder Bino from DevilsDigest.com over here after Monday's practice with running back Jacob Brimhall. And Jacob, obviously, we can't start the interview without talking about that very monumental day last week when you were awarded a scholarship. A lot of people that follow the program thought, that maybe it was a given that you were getting a scholarship. But your emotions that day show that you were surprised like anybody else.
See, I had been told that there were pretty much no scholarships, and so I wasn't really expecting much. And then when he said he had one, they gave it to Mitch. I thought, you know what, he deserves it. He's a starter. I mean, he came on, he started starting last season after a spring. And so I was fine with it. I was thinking it's not about me, it's more about the team, and we got to win a national championship, and that's more important. So when he flipped the script on me, man, it took me for a ride, and I couldn't hold my emotions back. It meant the world to me.
This is obviously a program that treats all its players well, as walk-ons and scholarship players. But what are some of the struggles that a walk-on has to go through? I mean, can you just, for those who maybe not familiar with that, can you just walk us through that?
Initially it's kind of rough. When you first I came on in spring, and lots of the time I was used basically as the scout team or used as the opposite of the opposing team we were going to play. And so you don't really get a shot at running our offense necessarily at first. But we had a scrimmage about 2 weeks in, and then D-Lou kind of went down. And so I got a shot, and then that's where they kind of noticed me and started putting me in on the offensive rotation. So at first it's a real struggle because you think, oh man, I'm not running our offense, I'm not even part of the team. But the truth is that's where you get noticed, and that's where you got to work your hardest. So every time I was on a scout special team, I was going as hard as I could. So at first it seems it's a big mental game, but as long as you're willing to work hard, it can, especially at a place like ASU, it can work out for you.
It needs to say, I mean, there's so much talk about the Sun Devil Brotherhood. I have to assume that any walk-on, whether it's you or somebody else, gets treated, the same by the coaches, the same by scholarship players, and so on.
I couldn't believe the respect that I received just coming on. It was incredible. I expected to be the low of the low, but when I got here, everyone was introducing themselves. When I met DJ Foster, just the nicest guy to me, and I was like, this is my hero. Like, how is he being this nice to me already? So it's definitely a brotherhood. It's something that, you don't get at any other school, and it's really special.
And then you talk about DJ Foster being a hero, and that kind of goes back to what we talked about just before we started the interview, that you grew up here in Mesa, grew up a huge ASU fan. I mean, there probably were times that you didn't think that even making the team that was possible. Just talk about the journey that you had from high school to here.
Oh man, in high school, I felt like I was doing everything right. I was getting, our team was doing really well. I was getting all the yards I needed, but I was getting looked at schools. And I thought I was going to receive a scholarship, but then I decided to serve a 2-year mission. And so, when I said the word mission, schools pretty much just cut it right there, which is understandable. I mean, I'm a 5'6" kid leaving for 2 years. I didn't really expect much, and I thought my dream of playing at ASU, my dream school, was pretty much down the drain. Then when I got back from the mission, my friend Brandon Matthews was on the team, and I went up to Tonazona the first week I got back, and he just tells me, he says, dude, you got to go talk to him. You got to, at least try. I thought, it's worth a shot. Like, I love this school. I'd do anything to be on here. And so I came and I talked to him. They said, sure, come to the tryout. And I got my 40 ready for the tryouts, and I was ready to run. And so that was pretty much it. Oh man, the whole entire thing took a long process, and it all had to work out perfectly. And it had to be Coach Graham, I feel like, otherwise it wouldn't have worked out for me. And everything's just been put in place, and I love it.
Now, honestly, I did not script this, but if you look behind us, these are the walk-on tryouts for this year. Now, how surreal is it? We're talking about a walk-on that just got a scholarship a few days ago. But you remember those days when you walked on the field over here trying to be a walk-on like anybody else?
Oh, absolutely. I remember that tryout. I thought it was the Super Bowl. I was, every single night I was out running on the track. I was out doing drills, footwork drills. And when it came time to this, I think I woke up at like 6 in the morning just because I couldn't sleep. I started stretching immediately, even though I didn't have to be there till the afternoon. And the whole entire day was just prep, focus, everything. And that actual tryout. And then I got timed by Rudy Burgess, who was my all-time hero, from growing up, watching him when he went in the bowl game and just tore it up. And then Coach Bo. And so, it was, the whole thing was just surreal. I couldn't believe it.
So, let's talk about your performance on the field. Obviously, you said, you've shown enough in the spring and obviously in fall camp to be involved not only in the running back rotation but also at punt returner. Just talk about your development. What are some of the skills you think you improved on quite a bit from not only the first day of fall camp but maybe even from spring until now?
Physicality for me has been kind of the big thing as far as pass protection and everything going like that, because running backs, everyone can run the ball, and me trying to develop down the field speed, because my 40 is great, but with my short little legs it's kind of hard once I get past that point. So being in that strength room with Coach Grizz, he'll get you stronger, he'll get you ready. So that, and having to learn all the protections and just being more physical up front, has been kind of the big thing for me. And as far as getting punt returns, I worked every day this summer with Matt Hawk catching his punts. And, he's a left-footed punter, so it's kind of irregular, which gets me ready for anything I'm going to see. So it's just been a day-by-day kind of push at it, and but now I feel comfortable in it all. And once you feel comfortable, you can really just start trying to play and not really having to worry about messing up necessarily. And that's kind of the key, is to have your mental aspect of it just all ready to go. And I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now.
You mentioned your 40 time a few times. Just for the record, what is your 40 time?
I said last time I was clocked, it was a 4.38.
So just like the old saying, you can't beat what you can catch, right?
Exactly. We'll go with that. Or can't see.
Okay, well, Jacob, thank you very much. And for Jacob Brimhall, this is Hood Rubino reporting for Devil's Digest.